Okay, picture this. You hear about these top traders, right? The ones really crushing it. And they supposedly spend their whole weekend just looking at charts. Hundreds, maybe even 1,000 charts. Sounds awful, doesn't it? Just drowning in data.
Yeah, it does sound like drudgery. And honestly, that image probably puts a lot of people off trading altogether. But here's the twist. It's not about aimlessly clicking through charts. Not at all. It's actually this highly systematic thing, almost surgical.
Surgical, yeah.
The goal isn't just looking at a lot of charts. It's about being ruthlessly efficient, filtering down this huge universe of stocks to just a handful, the ones with real potential.
Exactly. It's like a strategic game of elimination, finding those few great setups. And that's what we want to dive into today, this whole weekend ritual. We'll look at why they do it, maybe touch on some of the people who pioneered these ideas, and importantly, how they use tools and specific blueprints to find the best place.
Think of it as a shortcut, to understanding a really key piece of professional prep.
Right. This disciplined preparation, it happens when the market's closed. Quiet. That's where the actual game plan for the week gets built.
You doing all the heavy analytical work up front loading it, so that when the market is open during the week, you can execute more objectively. Less emotion involved.
And this idea, it's not exactly new, is it? I mean, think about traders like Dan Zanger. Famous story, turned 11 grand into 42 million.
Right, Zanger, he explicitly talked about scanning, over 1,000 charts every night, using software, looking for high momentum stocks, breaking out of specific patterns.
And even before the fancy software, you had giants like Stan Weinstein or William O'Neill.
Absolutely. They built their whole approach, their fortunes really, on studying thousands and thousands of historical charts. Weinstein's stage analysis from his book back in '88, that came from seeing these distinct price cycles, so he could trade with the big trend.
And O'Neill, the Can Slim guy, that entire method was built from analyzing, 40-plus years of market data.
Yeah, identifying those common traits, technical and fundamental, of the biggest winning stocks before they took off.
So these aren't just gut feelings. They're frameworks built on data.
Totally data-driven. And you see modern traders like Mark Minervini or Christian Coilamagi applying the same kind of rigor, just using today's tech to scale it up. Minervini has his trend template.
Which is a very specific technical and fundamental screen.
Exactly. And Coilamagi, he's known for those explosive breakouts. He uses systematic screeners to find what he calls, A-plus setups.
So that daunting 1,000 charts idea, it's less about someone manually scrolling forever.
Much less.
And more about using sophisticated screeners. Tools like TradingView, FinViz, MarketSmith, platforms like that. You plug in your rules, your criteria.
And the software does the heavy sifting. Scans thousands of stocks in seconds.
The real magic, then, is in the quality of your filter, your blueprint.
That's the key. These aren't just random checklists. They're specific rules based on how winning stocks tend to act. Like, Minervini's template uses moving averages and relative strength.
RS, yeah. How a stock's doing compared to the market.
Right. To find stocks that are already in strong uptrends.
Or Can Slim. O'Neill's method gives you that 7-point checklist. Strong earnings, new stuff happening, supply and demand in the volume.
Leadership, institutional buying, and the overall market direction, the M. It combines technicals and fundamentals.
And Weinstein provides that big picture trend filter. Basically, only look at stocks in a confirmed stage 2 uptrend. Price above a rising long-term moving average, usually the 30-week, often with volume picking up.
Yeah, and what's interesting is how these different masters, they kind of arrive at similar core principles, even if the details vary.
They all want strong trends.
Definitely. And leadership, strength relative to the market. Volume confirmation is huge, and often a fundamental check, too.
You could even layer them, right? Like use stage analysis for the big trend, and maybe Can Slim criteria for the quality and leadership.
And then perhaps a Minervini-style screen for the precise technical setup. Yeah, it's like a funnel.
But, okay, running the screener isn't the final step, right? There's still a human element.
Oh, absolutely vital. The post-screen review. So the screener might give you, say, 50 to 200 stocks. Now you manually scan those charts. You're looking for really clean patterns, confirming the volume looks right, assessing the stock's kind of personality.
Looking for those specific things like volatility contraction patterns, VCPs, where the price swings get tighter and tighter.
Exactly, VCPs. Or classic patterns like cup with handles, flags, things like that. You need that visual confirmation.
Then you take the best ones and organize them. A watch list, but more than just symbols.
It's a plan. You define your exact entry point, your stop loss, before you even think about trading. Your position size, too, all decided beforehand.
Set your price alerts, maybe automate some monitoring.
Precisely. The hard thinking, the objective analysis, that's done over the weekend, calmly. Then during the week, with all the noise and emotion, you just execute the plan.
So wrapping this up then, the big takeaway isn't just look at lots of charts.
No.
That 1,000-chart review, it's really a metaphor, isn't it, for this super disciplined, systematic filtering process.
Yeah, it's about eliminating the noise to pinpoint the truly exceptional opportunities. Precision.
And we see these common threads across the masters.
Mm-hmm.
Trade to the trend, focus on strength, look for volume confirmation, check the fundamentals sometimes, and always, always manage risk first.
That risk management piece, defined before the trade, is critical.
And doing all this hard analytical work on the weekend, it frees you up during the week, allows you to be objective, disciplined.
Makes execution much cleaner, less prone to emotional mistakes.
So the question maybe for you listening is, how could applying this kind of systematic filtering idea, maybe not for trading, but for other areas where you feel overwhelmed by information, how could that shift things?
Yeah, how could it help you move from feeling, swamped to feeling more strategically in control? Something to think about.